Hello, chess friends. This is Coach Nathan. Welcome back to chess. Now, I want to show you something. You're every day there is live commentary on games. So you'll get an email from Russ, and it'll say, we'll say live with Coach Figgy, for instance. Coach Alex, Coach Figgy. It'll then have a link to the YouTube. You can watch live coaches go over your games, okay? There also is daily live YouTube commentary that's so fun, so great to watch, and that's with Coach Angel and Coach Jonathan, and I've been watching them guys, and it's so exciting. Oh, there's Scarlett. Hi, Scarlett, from 281. So look for these emails. They come from Russ. It'll say Impact Coaching Network at gmail.com. Lots of information, including the live YouTube emails. And guys, I've been watching the Jonathan and Angel, and it's fun. They banter, they talk, they go through all the games. They're serious. They do awesome commentary. It's so fun and it's so uh, insightful, their commentary. So watch that. The emails from Russ. Also, the other day, sitting with Shanklin. Sam Shanklin, U.S. champion, was doing live commentary on the ICN page. So, what is ICN on YouTube? Well, it's this logo, ICN Online. Subscribe. There's also tons of lessons from Coach Nathan, Coach Matthew, Logan, Aaron, all the coaches. So that's ICN Online at YouTube. Otherwise, the link in the email from Coach Russ will lead you. There'll be links in the email. So this is awesome. And also, there's other emails coming from Russ, Coach Russ, that have the scores of the daily tournaments. So daily on ICN also is um, referring to the tournaments. Okay, guys, so let's start the lesson, shall we? This lesson's going to be on mates, checkmates. Okay, it's for beginners, but if you know this stuff, you can just use it to further further your ability to see the board better. I encourage you, especially with checkmates, set up the board on your own and try them out. Try different variations, set up the pieces, try different pieces, move them different sides of the board. We could talk more about that in a little bit. Either on the computer or on a real board. Okay, so. For instance, now what's happening here? Well, Queen is putting the king in check. We know if the king's in check, it has to get out. King cannot run away and cannot put anything in between, but the king can capture. Sorry, no, Queen cannot capture king, but um, the king can capture Queen. Okay, not hard to understand. King moves one square. We add a piece, a king, and it protects. King can no longer capture. This position is checkmate. The game is over. Um, check in Persian is Shah, and it's the name of a king. Mate means dead. So Persian. I believe the first chess manuscripts came from Persia. Persia's now Iran. By the way, um, if you Google Iran chess, you will find a very interesting article that's happening now. Several. If you Google Iran chess, so I'll let that be your homework or chess news. Very exciting, very interesting. If you Google Iran chess, okay? And a little review. It involves a world champion. So, okay, moving on. Let's see what's happening. Oh, by the way, in this position, we call the queen a chaser. Chaser is the piece that gives check. Now, the queen alone could not checkmate. We needed help. We call that another piece that protects the chaser, a helper. This is known as a helper mate or a support mate. I call them the support mates. We have the queen chasing the king, guarding all squares, and is being helped. Helper mate or support mate. Another type of support mate, supported mate. Queen on b6 checks the king. King cannot capture, as thankfully the knight is helping the queen. Supported mate. Okay, can be done with a few pieces. Now, if you thought the king could capture this queen, nope, you're wrong. The queen's being helped, even from far away. Bishop on a2 looks all the way down the diagonal, protects the queen. Queen is the chaser, bishop is the helper, supported mate. Chaser, helper, mate. Let's see. Okay, the queen is on assignment to white's king. Queen is putting the king in check. King cannot run away, and the king cannot capture, even though the rook's far away, still helping the queen. Ah, now, it can't be checkmate here. The king's not even in check. But it is mate on the move, meaning white move. In one move, you can checkmate the king on a5. I'll give you a second to look. It is a supported mate, meaning the queen will be the chaser, but it needs help. Who's going to help the queen checkmate the king? Well, the only other piece on the board is the pawn on c4. But this pawn plays a big role here. It becomes the helper for the queen. The queen can move to b5. Queen is safe here. The king cannot capture, being protected. The pawn supports the queen, supported mate. Okay, mate on the move. Now, I'd like to talk about another idea when you're looking at the king. You have to look at escape squares. King squares the king can move to. Can the king move to h4? No, the queen guards that square. Can the king move to g3? No, the king cannot. The queen and the bishop guard that square. How about g4? And I'll put a circle down for escape squares. That's a safe square. King can run to g4. How about h2? No, h2 is not a flight square. The bishop on e4 guards it. g2. Yes. So you have to somehow check the king and guard both g4 and g2 at the same time. Is it possible? Here it is. The queen can go to g3, being supported by the bishop on e5. While the queen is on g3, it also guards g4 and g2. This position is checkmate. Not bad. Another mate on the move. White to move. White can checkmate black one move. I'll give you a hint. This time, the knight is going to be doing the supporting. The knight is aiming at b5. Queen move to b5 and checkmate the king. Also looking back, the king here has only one escape square, a4. The nice thing about going to b5 with the queen is that it also guards a4. Mate on the move. Black to make a checkmate. There are no flight squares for this king. The king cannot move to any of these 5 squares. Both the queen and the rook on g8 guard those squares. But it's black the move. Is there a checkmate? Now, some of you might have seen rook to g3. But this is not a checkmate because it opens up a flight square, because now the rook is blocking the queen from guarding h2. So the rook goes to g3. That's not a checkmate. You have to be careful when you give a check. You don't block another piece from guarding one of the squares around the king. In this case, queen can go to g3. Instead, being supported by the rook on g8, support guarding all the squares still. Okay, you can also deliver mate with a capture. If the queen and the knight both are attacking, you don't want to take with the knight here. It's much better to take with the queen because this is a support mate. The same one we looked at before, where the knight is supporting the queen, and the queen is checkmating the king. Now it gets a little tricky. Now we have to be careful. You must beware of defenders. You have the black pieces here. The queen and the rook work well together. They can look up and down the file. The rook will protect the queen anywhere it goes down. There's a couple checks down here. Now, if you're thinking about rook to g1 check, which looks like a supported mate, queen checking the king and the rook protecting the queen, is a mistake because there is a bishop here defending. So we have to look for another check. Okay, what happens if the queen goes to g2 check? Now, this pawn is going towards the other side. White starts on 1 and 2, goes towards black on 7 and 8. So this pawn is actually going the other direction. It's not being attacked here. Queen can go to g2. Here's the checkmate. So before you just throw your queen down there, and it looks like a regular supported mate, beware of defenders about. Have to be careful. Common checkmate. The king is on his back rank. There are 2 pawns in front. There's only 1 escape square for the king as of now. But if it were white's move, they'd move the queen from d1 all the way up to d8. And since the queen controls the entire line, the king cannot use d8 anymore. Queen guards it. Back rank checkmate. Very common checkmate to see. So be careful here. If you're ever in this situation, move one of these pawns up. Make a move like a6 or make a move like a6, and then if the queen plays d8 check, you can escape to the a7 square. Sometimes you have to move pawns out of the way of your king to avoid back rank mate. Okay. Wow. This king is trapped in by its own pieces. These 2 pawns, and we call pieces of the same color, same team around the king, harmful material. The queen and the pawn are going to work together here. The pawn's going to support the queen. See the good checkmate? And this will be the last one, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I'll leave this one open. I won't even so give the answer, but join me next time.